The LA Chargers gave fans what they wanted this offseason and signed a wide receiver to catch passes from Justin Herbert. But somehow this got even worse. Let me explain this to you. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. The wide receiver is none other than former first-round pick Jalen Reagor. Jim Harbaugh brought Reagor in last offseason, and he appeared in 8 games for the Bolts. The former first-round pick caught 7 passes for 100 yards. The small amount he did to help the offseason was completely negated in Week 7 against the Arizona Cardinals when he fumbled out of the end zone to cost the Chargers points, in a game the team lost by 2 points. Nobody expected Jalen Reagor to be the first wide receiver the LA Chargers signed this offseason, but alas, the Bolts could not wait to re-sign him. While the Chargers ultimately re-signed Mike Williams as well, the Reagor deal being the first was still disappointing. Reagor has struggled everywhere he has played and is one of the worst first-round picks in recent NFL draft history. 1 or 2 good catches does not change the fact Reagor caught just 7 passes for 100 yards and single-handedly lost the Chargers a game last season. Yet for some reason, the Chargers saw something in Reagor to bring him back. If the plan was for Reagor to just be a camp body that gets cut, it would be easier to swallow. However, with a better depth wide receiver now leaving the team, the Reagor deal looks even worse. Now, the news came out that the Arizona Cardinals have signed Simi Fehoko to a 1-year deal. Fehoko's departure is especially painful considering the Chargers prioritized Reagor over him. On the surface, one may argue Reagor has more upside than Fehoko because he has more athleticism and is a former first-round pick. As great as that sounds as a debate point, it completely ignores the fact Reagor has shown time and time again that potential is no longer there. At some point, you are who you are in the NFL, and Reagor has reached that point. It's not a coincidence the Philadelphia Eagles gave up on him after just 2 years, or that he was bound to be a practice squad player before the Chargers signed him out of necessity caused by injuries. Don't get it twisted. Fehoko is no game-breaking wideout either. His 6 catches for 106 yards in the same number of games isn't all that different from Reagor's production. In fact, Fehoko brings special teams value that Reagor does not bring. Sure, Reagor is an option to return kicks and punts for the Bolts, but he is never going to get reps over Derius Davis. Fehoko's overall special teams impact is more beneficial than Reagor's impact as a backup returner. Fehoko also fits better as a back-end wide receiver. He and Justin Herbert have developed a chemistry that simply does not exist with Reagor. Chemistry matters when dealing with players around the roster fringes, but now the Chargers gave Reagor priority over Fehoko. Honestly, Reagor is not. The wide receiver fans were hoping would sign first with the Chargers. If anything, him being the first wideout to sign is a painful metaphor for how this offseason has gone for the Bolts. Realistically, Reagor should not make the Chargers' 53-man roster after training camp. There is nothing wrong with signing Reagor as a depth piece who serves as a camp body fighting for a roster spot. If Reagor turns in the secondary and proves he has turned a corner,
Illuminor the block, and then they get by him, and down he goes. Man, and a flag.
The WR6. However, more likely than not, Reagor will be cut in August. At least that is what should happen. There should not be a pathway for Reagor to make the Chargers' 53-man roster directly. If Reagor does make the 53-man roster, and it is not because of injuries to other players, then it showcases what was a failure of an offseason for the Chargers. Even without adding other wideouts, it's hard to find a path.
Second down and 7.
Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnston, and Derius Davis should be locks for the 53-man roster. Second-year wideout Brendan Rice is also in the mix. Rice was hyped up as a draft steal for the Bolts, and it is better long-term for the Chargers to give him a chance with a roster spot than it is to give a roster spot to Reagor.
Third down,
right there
Wilson.
brings the Chargers to 5 wideouts, and that is not including any free agents the team may sign or prospects the Bolts may.
Trank will come out on a blitz, and this one's batted into
the Chargers don't address the position further, which again would indicate a failed offseason. In reality, this move shouldn't really matter for the Chargers as Reagor should be on the practice squad at best in 6 months. But with how this offseason has gone, it is fitting he is the first wideout the Chargers have signed. And that's the reality
for
of the
the
Chargers
first time
so
today.
Jalen Reagor might be the
And
first receiver
Eskridge
signed, but his impact on the 53-man roster seems more like a long shot than a lock. Whether this is just a camp body signing or a sign of deeper issues with the team's decision-making, only time will tell. What do you think? Was signing Reagor the right move, or should the Chargers have focused
Across
elsewhere?
the 40.
Let me know in the comments below.